Welcome back, guys, to Triangle Strategy, where last episode, with House Telliore's troops led by Rufus advancing upon House Wolford's gates, we continue to block their advance as we look to send the traitors packing. Taking out their flanking attacks before a pincer of our own led to us dispatching all of our foes. With Silvio and Rufus now having fled, we continue on.
At the end of the battle against House Wolford, Lord Silvio of Telliore leaves the field defeated. The victors, however, do not go by unscathed, repeated battles taking their toll on the soldiers. All goes according to Gustadolf's plan to weaken both houses. Landroid Falkes, Lord of the Third of Glenbrook's High Houses, faces off against General of Laura.
Chapter 8, Part 3, Light and Shadow. We need to make some more lights, don't we, really? Hyzante! Meanwhile, defeated by Serenoa, Silvio desperately tries to flee. Oh, well, is he fleeing past? Is he gone?
I must survive. Somehow, I must survive. Gah!
Escaping all on your own, I see.
Rufus, what are you doing here?
I came to collect my reward.
Reward? Since when were losers ever rewarded?
I remember our deal differently.
As do I. I was promised an invincible executioner. You are nothing but a fraud, a sheep in wolf's clothing. What's so funny?
I have a new deal for you. Pay me what I'm owed or die.
I cannot give you what I do not possess. But if you kill me now, you will have lost to Wolford with nothing to show for it.
Go on.
If you let me live, on the other hand, I will find the coin to pay you. What do you say? Do we have a deal?
Fine. But if I don't get that money, consider your life forfeit.
So they're both going to be coming back at us in some point in time. Meanwhile, before we check out what's going on the battlefield, which is against General of Laura, and this time by the look of it, did they really... I mean, obviously these aren't places where they're fighting, but if they really chose to fight Avlor on an open field, that would be dumb. Gotta do it in a town with traps that you don't use. You know how it is. We should check out a character story. Julio and Eridor are out on patrol when they come across a deplorable act in progress, because all of my stories involve Eridor. Eridor's the best. He defends us. He talks to our friends. That's what Eridor does. Good boy, Eridor.
Please, you can't take our wheat. We just sent food the other day.
They just got it grown as well. They just got some rain.
Silence! Lord Wolford has ordered the requisition of all provisions. You wouldn't dare disobey your lord, would you?
Of course not. I just can't believe Lord Wolford would command such a thing.
Are you accusing me, a noble woman of Glenbrook, of lying? How dare you, peasant.
Mayhap we should see what the commotion is about.
Mind telling us what's going on?
Well, if it isn't Captain Eridor. Thank you for all that you do to keep these lands safe.
You're one of the lot what recently fled from the Crown City, ain't you?
Just so, yes. I came to humbly lend what aid I could to Lord Wolfford and deliver on the provisions I promised.
What is your quarrel with these people? If you could explain the situation, we'd be more than happy to lend what aid we can.
Please, I beg of you, don't take our food. It's all we have.
I've always known Lord Wolfford to care for his people above all. Why would he do this to us?
What madness is this? Lord Serenoa has strictly forbidden commandeering food from the common folk. Surely you aren't asking these good people to relinquish their stores to you in his name?
I am simply gathering provisions on Lord Wolfford's behalf, as I promised. Honestly, he should be grateful.
Grateful? Huh. He'd be red in the face if he saw what you were doing. Ain't no way he ordered it.
On the contrary, you are acting in violation of your lord's decree. We cannot overlook your actions. You will come with us and be jailed. There you will await judgment for your crimes.
What nonsense is this? I am a noblewoman of Glenbrook. How dare you try to order me about, you self-important little man? You've no authority over me!
Look, I ain't disagreeing. But are you sure we should accost her without seeking Lord Serenoa's counsel first?
We haven't that luxury. The longer she is allowed to roam free, the more the people will suffer, and our lord's good name be sullied. We must show the people that unethical acts will not go unpunished. Take her away.
You will pay for your impudence!
Can't believe there are scoundrels out here using House Wolfford's name for ill gain. You've done us all proud today, Julio.
Thank you ever so much, my lord. We'd be facing starvation if you hadn't stepped in.
She really had us fooled. We should have known Lord Wolfford is too kind a man to order anything like that.
If you are ever troubled again, please seek me out. I shall ensure that any wrongs committed against you are set right.
Be right back. I've got to hit the mic 3 times because someone put ... in the chat. Convictions have strengthened yet again, as Julio appears to be like someone I should appoint as some kind of like lawgiver or something at this point in time. Seems like he'd make a great judge. I mean, after all, we're going to spread the Wolfford domain. We're going to just take over everything. We're not going to put Roland in position of power. It used to be me, right? Wait a second. Would that make me the usurper? Maybe. Maybe just a little bit. So let's just look at the rewards of battle and see where our levels stand now. We did get a couple of guys up. I think generally we got everyone up 1 level. So the people who were level 12 got to level 13. The people who were level 11 got to level 12. There wasn't really massive gains on those fronts. So it's not looking bad. Poor Roland, who... Spear Knight didn't really seem like it fit on that battlefield. I would admit. But we can promote someone now. So let's make sure it's not Roland. Let's go someone else. Someone's ready for a class promotion. How's about it? I've got 67 now, so I'm going to buy Quietus Point next. Because that'll allow me to use the move turn thing, the faster turn thing, and the heal. Which is not too bad. I'm not back to my bullying, honest. So it's only these 3 that can get promoted after all. The question is, when do their skills come up? Grant an ally the ability to absorb fire for 3 turns. I mean, absorb versus... Does that heal then? Because Flame Shield does the same thing for 1. Pillars of Fire is unlocked at level 15. Is that like Ice Wall, but... Sounds cool. Also, she ends up looking like that, which is pretty cool. I'm almost tempted to do it just for her looks. I have to admit. Alright, we can get initial TP plus. Grants 1 TP at the start of battle. That would put it up to 4? 3? 5? I'm not even sure. Twofold turn comes at level 15. Gila looks way cooler too. Yeah, maybe that's like Firewall, Pillar of Fire. We need like another few levels, of course. Heal what ails you. Is that a status effect remover? I would expect it to be. Men wounds at level 18. Anna's Remain and Recover comes at level 14, which is her next level. Horizon Range comes at level 14 for Huette. Why is Huette's visible changes not as good? Why? Icy 2 is at rank 13 as well. Tempted to do Frederica. Just because, man, does she get some clothes and a cool hair bit and changes her hairstyle up. Maybe Fire Eater will be kind of meh, to be honest. Maybe we'll get something else to buy, but I'm literally going to make this class change now based on how she looks. This also is kind of bad on my side. Because yet again, not only have I kept voting with Frederica, I've now promoted her for the reasons of looks. Learn the ability Fire Eater. I am a doting other half. It did put me at 5 TP? No, it didn't. It put me at... you get 5 TP for Fire Master. It did take me up 1 TP though, right? So I'm at 4 base. Look, she looks even different. Now, I mean, her hair stays the same. I guess the blue sets off the red, to be fair. So in the future, Magic Ablaze is there. That's unlocked at level 20. I think that's just unlocked level 20 anyway. I don't know if that's... No, that is for the level 20 ability. I'm not a simp. I'm not a simp. Well, so no, allow me to express my gratitude once more for accepting one such as myself into your ranks. When this war began, I wondered what I should be doing as a shamaness. But then you came along and I knew it was fate. I promise to do all I can to be of service to House Wolfort. A woman descending from a long line of shamans with the ability to change the weather, she wanders the land in search of people who might need her powers that she may provide them succor. So cool. We should also be able to upgrade a weapon as well. Only one person's weapon can upgrade. Oh, it's not even one person's... Oh, no, it is one person's weapon can upgrade. So you're the only one that needs Spider Silk? Oh, apart from... Wait, how are you the only one who needs Spider Silk? Well, that makes our choice for us, doesn't it? That literally makes the choice. Oh, wait a second. We did upgrade Federica's weapon already. No, I'm not! Well, I guess your weapon's going up a level. A new bow for Huette. We also have materials to take one more upgrade. Potency of weapons increases effect duration of shadow stitching arrow by 1 turn, or blinding arrow by 1 turn. Passive skill increases your critical hit rate against enemies with 50% or less HP remaining is actually pretty damn cool. I think first of all I'll just go for the weapon damage, because it's not going to cost us all that much to go for that in the end. Thank you very much, Lee. Be a successful merchant, you must know your customer, discover their problems, and offer a solution. Follow these simple steps and you can sell even the most useless of trinkets. Ha 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 ha! Lionel's selection is especially grand today. Please have a look. I doubt you've come up with new stuff, so it's probably going to be waiting for the next chapter that we need to get to maybe have some cool stuff, but we can definitely buy some materials in the future, can't we? So that's Frederica. Anna's not getting promoted. That would truly be it. Frederica, Serenoa, and Elidor that are promoted at this juncture, this point in time. Right then. Let's see what's going on. The Aesfrosti army lies in Falkes to deal with the ever-defiant Landroy. The ever-defiant stayed at home the whole time, Landroy. So have we, though, to be fair. Except when we went to the castle in the first place. Ah!
Far too much blood has been spilled.
I know how loyal you were to the late King Regna. We may be enemies, but you still have my respect. I would invite you to join our ranks.
You would dishonor me so.
I prefer it to your death.
Save your pity for someone who needs it. Your master will never have our loyalty, even if it means the end of the 3 high houses. Your Majesty, I serve you even in death.
Had enough of the senseless killing yet?
His plot foiled and bested in battle by House Wolford, Silvio Telliore flees, leaving everything behind. House Falkes fights valiantly, but ultimately loses to General Avlora's army, and joins their late king in death. Of Glenbrook's 3 high houses, Wolfort, Telliore, and Falkes, 2 are felled by the iron hammer of Aesfrost. House Wolfort now stands alone, in more peril than ever.
Yeah, it's legitimately crazy that Hyzante hasn't stepped in before it got that far.
So, 2 of Glenbrook's 3 high houses have fallen. Aesfrost's invasion took me by surprise at first, but this is quite the interesting turn.
Now Wolfort stands alone, having lost both the crown and its allies. There is no better time for us to act.
Then let us set the trap, brimming with bait enough to lure them in and keep them there.
As you command. The famed High House of the Saltiron War will soon be under your thumb, my lord. Having control of their land will make our deliveries that much easier.
Indeed, and House End will prosper more than ever. Brute strength is not the only path to victory. A truly wise man can win without ever drawing his sword.
My lord, a bird from Sorcelay End of Hyzante has arrived. He has offered to send us provisions and funds in light of our situation.
A most welcome offer, to be sure, but why would he extend a helping hand to us now? Could he be after something?
Undoubtedly. There are regrettably none so altruistic amongst the Saintly Seven. Seeing as Minister Sorcelay has never shown much interest in other nations, I can only surmise this is a ploy to put House Wolfort in his debt.
As I suspected. But our people and soldiers need all the help they can get. Let us accept his proposal. We can deal with whatever ulterior motives he may have once we are back on our feet.
Understood. We shall discuss our countermeasures at another time.
So we're essentially kind of doing the same things with what the offer with House Telliore and all that. Just kind of like, let it happen. Whatever happens, we'll deal with it. This is like the Benedict way, isn't it? Simply put. At Whiteholm Castle, Avlora reporting to Gustadolf, who muses on his next move.
Congratulations on your victory in the Falkes domain, General.
Thank you, sir. They were proud warriors. And Lord Landroy a formidable foe despite his age.
I imagine he was content to breathe his last on his beloved fields. 30 years have passed since the Saltiron War. It was time he was put to rest beside that bygone era. Avlora, it is time you had a rest as well.
What do you mean by that, Your Grace?
Your soldiers have fought long and hard. Any longer and their morale may suffer for it.
But what of House Wolford? Prince Roland is still with them. Is that not cause for concern?
There are no lords left worth worrying about. House Wolford stands alone after Roland's uprising.
Even so, we would do well not to underestimate them. Even standing alone, they once changed the course of the Saltiron War.
House Wolford is no longer the hunter, but the hunted. Or do you believe you understand something that I do not, General?
No. Forgive me, Your Grace.
Yeah, don't listen to the general that actually fought them. And lost. Which just means, of course, in these kind of games, that Gustadolf is physically more, martially more powerful than her? Correct? That's just how this goes, right? If he's willing to ignore her strength, then, and her strength is seemingly solo peerless versus everyone around in Glenbrook, then he has to be stronger. That's the only thing you can take from it, isn't it? Shall we get another character? Story on the go. Jens shows Serenoa a book he borrowed from the archives. Jens, we'll hear his name again and hopefully say it right next time. Probably not.
That tome is an apprentice's resource, if I'm not mistaken. Are you studying ironworking?
Yes, I borrowed it some time ago from the archives in the Grand Duchy of Aesfrost. I haven't had a chance to return it, what with the state of affairs being as it is.
Ian's? I can't remember the last time you privileged us with a visit.
Well, my weapons aren't going to forge themselves. But now that I've a respite from my days of sweat and flame, I thought I'd continue my studies.
You hunger for knowledge the way a fire hungers for kindling.
I'd never have become the blacksmith I am if not for what I gleaned from these tomes. If it takes a lifetime of studying and striving to forge the perfect weapon, then so be it. One day, all will know the name of Ian's, the greatest smithy the realm has ever seen.
That is all well and good, but would you mind proclaiming that a little more quietly?
Yes, apologies. In my excitement, I quite forgot I was in a library.
I must say, I can't help but admire your burning ambition. But while we're speaking in hushed tones, our army has been anything but quiet as of late. You forge weapons for them, yes? Might you have any insight into the matter?
I wish I did, but I have scant time for the goings-on outside my own small forge. Though, now that you mention it, my orders from the army have increased.
Could it be that they're preparing for war? As if a war could break out on the eve of our three nations' grand new venture.
Indeed. That would be unthinkable. Aesfrost's sudden attack on Glenbrook confirmed my worst fears. And once the war started, I could forget about returning this book. But I still hope to. One day, when peace has returned to our realm.
I hope you will fight by my side till it does.
Without hesitation, my lord.
Ians. Can I remember that? You can say that everyone in the land will know his name, but it's about pronouncing it. You see it written down. I think Jens would be what most people think randomly, or at least from England. I don't think anyone would pronounce that naturally as Jens. Wonder actually what country that actually comes from. Roland requests a favor of Benedict, who responds with a shocking proposition. What is that then?
You wish to speak to me, Your Highness?
I wish to leave the Wolfort domain.
And you want me to persuade Lord Serenoa?
Yes. Though I doubt he will welcome the conversation after the scales have spoken. But the people are tired. Their expressions grim. And this castle is no different.
Even so, the decision was made together.
Yes. But I think we all know that I am at the source of our troubles. The responsibility ultimately falls to me.
If you truly wish to take responsibility, then I do have an idea.
And I would hear it.
Give me that ring.
But this is proof that I belong to the royal family. What would you do with it?
Have you die for your people.
This Benedict guy's smart. He's smart. Travis and Trish's band happened upon a startling discovery on the riverbank. Wow, what dead body did we use? How mutilated did we do? Bloaty. Because if it's down here that's discovered it, then they've either dropped it like I don't know which way the rivers go. Well, actually, it definitely seems to flow down this way considering this. I guess we've dropped it from here and it's gone quite a way. It is a good plan. It's a very good plan. It could ease up the reason for them to attack us, even though, of course, they still necessarily attack us. But still. They're going to fake his death. That's great.
Hey, boss. Come take a look at this.
The poor soul. Well, maybe not so poor, judging by these clothes.
Hey, Pa! Remember what I said about that reward money?
Of course I do. This might just be him.
Pa, take a look at this!
Shiny ring, huh? Is that the royal emblem? This has got to be Prince Roland.
The corpse is regrettably too damaged to identify, but the royal signet is unmistakable. Aside from Cordelia, there is only one who would wear the royal family's ring. There can be no doubt. This is Prince Roland.
Excuse me, Your Grace, but about that reward.
Thalas, give them their coin.
Yes, brother.
Thank you kindly for your generosity, Your Grace.
What a waste. Is this truly how the Kingdom of Glenbrook meets its end?
House Wolfort are no fools. Their friend was only a liability. They have spared themselves by forsaking the prince. They may have escaped, but there are none who would help them. There is no reason for us to concern ourselves with House Wolfort any longer.
A shame.
Your poor brother, betrayed by his most trusted friend.
Oh, Roland.
So Light and Shadow was completed. The worst thing about it is Cordelia feels that House Wolfort did it. But what a plan. It's a grisly job, what he's done as well, because he would have had to find a corpse that fairly matches the profile, blonde hair, same like colorish. And then he would have had to have mutilate the face, etc. In a way, before even setting it downriver. It's a horrible, grisly job, what he's done, and mutilating a corpse is like horrible itself. But what a ploy, what a plan. Aren't you glad he didn't get washed down that waterfall, though? Now tell me they're going to do something. Like, you got to follow this up, right? So, okay. So, we faked to death. So, tell me they're either dyeing Roland's hair, shaving his head. Like, he has to wear, like, a mask. Or at least an eye patch or something, you know. Something covering the face. Facial features. Of course, change of clothes. But something expects me to think they just put a hood on his head. A la Lords in Disguise. Let's find out. Let's find out. Lords on tour. This is an excellent disguise. No, it's not.